Hello, beautiful people. Hey, look, before I start this session, I have a big announcement to make. And, the documentary that's been in the works for a long time about my son Eric's life, it's almost finished. But in order to get to that finish line, the director producer Paula Marino needs some help. So she needs funds to cover all the professional fees that will be involved to bring the story to the screen, like a professional story editor, a music composer, a sound mixer, an illustrator, animator, etc., etc. Now, Paula created a crowdfunding page where you can donate whatever you feel comfortable donating. You can also donate by purchasing a 30-minute session with one of our mediums, or by purchasing an item from the Erik merchandise store, like the one I'm wearing. Saving the world one prank at a time. It's an embroidered image, so it's really nice. So anyway, go visit channelingericdoc.com and take a look at it. This project is very near and dear to my heart. And one of my greatest wishes is to get the story out to more people so we can help more people. And I want you to go and see the trailer that's on the channelingericdoc.com. It's so moving. It's so powerful. It was my first reaction. It was a gut punch. Um, but it says it all. So look at the trailer and let me know what you think. Thank you guys. Good morning, beautiful souls. Look who I have here. Veronica, the Miss V, Veronica Drake, extraordinary medium and teacher. And we have Erik that she's going to channel on the other side. And that's my son, by the way. And you will see Veronica's information always in the description box below, but it will be on the screen if it hasn't already been splashed up there already. So here's a timely thing. Hope it goes out today. I know it will. St. Patrick's Day. Today, I'm not wearing green, but there's nobody around to pinch me. But we're going to talk about St. Patrick. Are you wearing green?
It's a little green. It's an Amazite.
Okay,
So
okay. No pinchies for you. All right, let me give you a little backstory, people. St. Patrick was a 5th century Romano British Christian missionary and bishop in Ireland, known as the Apostle of Ireland. He is the primary patron saint of Israel. I mean, Israel. Did I say Israel before? Okay, anyway, if I said Apostle of Israel, I meant Apostle of Ireland, and he is known as the patron saint of Ireland. Now, according to Patrick's autobiographical Confessio, when he was about 16, he made an autobiography. Really, how do you accomplish anything before, that much to write an autobiography at age 16? Anyway, he was captured by Irish pirates from his home in Britain. There's something to talk about. And taken as a slave to Ireland. Wow. He writes that he lived there for 6 years as an animal herder before escaping and returning to his family. After becoming a cleric, he returned to spread Christianity in Northern and Western Ireland. In later life, he served as a bishop, but little is known about where he worked. By the 7th century, he had already come to be revered as the patron saint of Ireland. St. Patrick's Day, considered his feast day, is observed on the 17th of March, which is supposedly the date of his death. So, Erik, can we get St. Patty up and running and talking and answering?
yes, Erik is doing the Irish jig here.
Oh,
Let's do it.
all right, awesome. So tell me what he looks like, Erik. You're looking at him.
Yeah,
Or maybe you see him.
Erik says that Erik's doing this, like, how shall I describe this? And St. Patrick is over there very just chuckling. Erik says about 5'8", 5'9", and he says he's very light complected, and he's got like lighter hair, and he has a very a slimmer nose, and
Mhm.
he's got a smaller face.
Okay. What's he wearing? Is he wearing green?
Erik says he's got a white robe on.
Okay. What is it with how did the whole thing, if you don't wear green on that day, you get pinched? So how did that whole Naughty behavior. Sorry.
Eric says probably with some drunks in a bar.
Well, probably. But St. Patrick, what do you think?
Um,
Or was this posthumous?
yes, yes, it was after. But he does say that he would say that it's a reminder for people. It's a reminder for people to just remember what the event is and what it represents, and just to remember who he was. It's a
Okay.
great honor, he says, to have your
Oh,
day.
awesome. Yeah. What was your spiritual contract, St. Patrick? If any. Everybody has one, I guess.
No, yeah, he's very I'll say analytical, and he's very careful and soft-spoken when I hear him. He says unity was included in this. I was about unifying humanity. And the fact that I was separated from it, segregated from it for a while, made me a deeper connection to wanting to restore unity and
Oh,
humanity.
ooh,
Uh, he
makes
also
sense.
says that was here to help people see something bigger than they are, something beyond their day-to-day life.
Yeah. What was your life like after you were captured by pirates in England and taken to Ireland to be a slave? I mean, were you beaten? I mean, just tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. He says, keeping in mind that, again, this is all part of the contract,
Yeah.
doesn't mean I knew it was going to happen. At 16 years old, I would say I was very flexible. I just went with it. Of course, there was fear. And he says, I wasn't someone who had a whole lot of understanding about faith and something bigger than I was. And so it helped me to become more of a reflective human being. I was punished in the sense that I was worked very, very hard. I was fed. I was clothed. I wasn't beaten because I gave them no reason for that.
Oh, good.
I followed the rules. And he says rules, meaning it was a very simple life, simple in the sense that it didn't take a lot of complication and there wasn't a lot of understanding to be had.
I got you. Interesting. What was your first impression about Ireland when you got there? Beside the negative, you know, to be captured, etc. What did you think overall about Ireland?
My first impression was that of survival, of
Yeah.
course. And so I was enamored with the sense of openness and freedom in a space where I was confined and held,
Mhm.
and being able just to see the majestic openness of the land and see the spaciousness, it gave me hope.
Well,
I knew there was more to what I was experiencing than just in this space.
okay. Was green your favorite color? I mean, why green? But Ireland is probably very green. I don't know. Lots of rain.
Green is a very grounding color. And if I take it back to what you know about your energy centers, green is the energy of the heart. And when you are grounded
Oh,
in green, and green was the pastures that I worked in. Green
mm.
was a very prominent color. The frequency and the vibration of green is really what helped me not to lose my mind. Again, sitting in the beautiful energy of the green pastures was very,
Oh,
very
I
therapeutic.
love green. Green's one of my faves. All right. Okay, let's talk about the legend of the Shamrock. Legend has it, back in the 5th century, you, St. Patrick, used the shamrock as a demonstration of the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and due to the plant's unique three-leafed shape. Is that true?
I didn't know that it was that. It wasn't my intention. It was rather to explore possibilities of how I might help humanity open up. There are three paths to follow, he says. And one of those paths has to do with the heart. One of them has to do with the energy, the essence of who you are, which he's now referring to as the soul.
Okay.
And he's also saying that as he was in that space, he understood there was a being bigger than he was, which would be the God that we refer to. So
Right.
he's not saying it was the Trinity per se as we
Okay.
now know it.
Okay. Interesting. Also, was Saint Patrick, were you ever attacked by local druids or pagan gods? And if so, how were you able to defeat them? Now, pagan gods, what's the local druid? That's a human, right? And
Yeah.
pagan gods.
He says, au contrary, he says, because the Druids were a people that embraced him. These were a collective group of
Oh,
people who had certain beliefs that nurtured him and actually, as a young boy, mentored him and gave him his deep appreciation and love of that green pasture and all that it involves.
oh, interesting. All right, so legend says that you drove snakes out of Ireland, and that's sort of a metaphor for you driving paganism out of Ireland. Is that true?
Mhm. That would be true, but understand this. I don't know if it's literal, but what I was going for, and he's referring a lot to energy work, a lot of this
Oh,
mental movement of energy. And if you use the word pagan, he says, for dark energy or heaviness, then yes, I would agree. And he's also saying not all pagan energy is bad energy.
yeah, I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but there were certain energies that he moved. Um,
Okay.
so that's what he's got there. He's also showing me he's very fond of the snake in the sense that he appreciates its ability to be adaptive, to be able to blend in with its surroundings, and its ability to know when stuff doesn't fit anymore. It's a great analogy for shedding the
Oh,
right.
shedding.
And so he does love all of that that goes with the snake. People underestimate the snake and often fear what they shouldn't.
Okay, so now druids are known supposedly for belonging to the Anunnaki. Now, Enlil, no, Enki, the good one, the good Anunnaki, was represented as the snake that went to the Garden of Eden, and he's good. Did you drive out the druids, and therefore the legend was born that you drove out paganism and the snakes? And is it true that the druids belong to the Anunnaki?
Again, he says not all druids.
Yeah.
It was the ones that were toxic, or cancerous to the environment.
Yeah.
Um, he does say he got his start with the Anunnaki.
What do you mean? They helped him? The good
Yeah,
side?
it's like this. He's showing me like it came up. He came up from that.
Oh, or do you have Anunnaki DNA in you? Like, are you a starseed, Anunnaki starseed?
Um, yes.
Wow.
There's little known about me, and that would be for a reason. I don't know why he's saying that.
Eric, why is he saying that?
Um, Erik says he doesn't want to remain a mystery the way he has.
Oh,
That's why he's stepping forward in such a powerful way.
hmm.
Um, Erik is saying that he's very instrumental in the world today, St. Patrick, in helping people who feel displaced or
Like he was.
like they don't belong. Yeah.
Yeah. And like starseeds feel.
Yes.
Are you a starseed?
He's shaking his head yes,
Okay.
and he's saying, but don't read more into that than it's that I came from somewhere else
Oh,
because
no, no. Everybody has, almost everybody has starseed DNA.
we all came
Mm.
from somewhere else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Did you have any experiences with AOS, Aus Psi, the fairies or other supernatural beings?
No, he says.
Why are these, are they say, the question is, why are they so common in Ireland? Well, are they?
They are.
Fairies, leprechauns,
They are.
elementals? Why?
Yes. Eric is saying yes, 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 and St. Patrick is saying yes, they are. It's their home. There's something very, very fertile about the land,
Yeah.
about that beautiful sacred space. And if you want to get technical about it, think of it as that is their home base, if you will.
Oh,
If they originate somewhere, we could look at that as being their home base.
yeah.
I didn't per se work with them. I didn't have interactions. I was very, very, very aware of them
Okay.
and just knew that they were all supportive and loving of the community.
Why did you not interact with them? You just didn't feel the need, or were you
I,
scared, or?
I wasn't scared. They are very benevolent, loving
Yeah.
beings. I should say this. I didn't interact with them for learning purposes for the collective, but I was acutely aware of them and I was in contact with them in terms of, oh, this is beautiful. They are the ones that saved his life and got him through
Mm.
the period of being held prisoner.
Did they help him escape? Or just gave him the energy, the positive vibrations necessary to survive and to not give up and things like that?
He says they took care of me.
Oh.
They took care of me. When I couldn't take care of myself emotionally, I feel like I'm going to cry because he's very broken
Mhm.
up. When I couldn't take care of myself emotionally, they took care of me. They inspired me. They motivated me.
Mhm.
I I called them my playmates,
Oh, okay, but you said you didn't interact with him.
not on a social level, not on a
Oh, like
collective
energetic.
level, like
Okay,
where they're, yeah. He's saying because it's not like, oh, you're going to get anything profound from this interaction.
okay. So you were, I guess, a missionary, correct? In a way, spreading Christianity or not?
Yes, but he also says a mystic.
Ooh, what do you mean by that?
He says, I'm very spiritual and I did not begin life that way. I began life as kind of like, there is, there isn't. I didn't
Okay,
necessarily know what I believed in.
yeah.
But as I got deeper and deeper into being, and this time that I spent alone at 16 years old with the beautiful wild stock and the trees and life, God came alive to me.
Oh, wow. So is being a missionary, I think this is somebody who wants to be a missionary. Is it good for ascension, for soul growth, for even helping with karmic debt?
He says doing any kind of good, of course, would be good
Oh,
for
yeah.
that. But this is not for the faint of heart, he says. You do missionary work and you expect nothing from it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. My question comes as to how to best honor him in this beautiful country and this beautiful country, Ireland. I love Ireland, and the people were so nice. For some reason, it didn't rain the whole time Christina and I were there, but they're like the Texans of Europe, so hospitable, etc. I mean, at least the ones I met. So, I forgot what the question was.
How do we
Oh
honor
yeah, how
them?
do you honor you and the beautiful country of Ireland?
Just remember nature. Remember who we
Take
are.
care.
Remember all of the legacy
Yeah.
that we've built. Study us, come to know us. He also says that you can become close to the land even though you're not there, even if you've never stepped on it. You can become close. This is his spiritual wish for us all that we would, in our hearts, understand the energy of Ireland. And he really is talking a lot about energy.
Hmm. It does have a special energy. I do
Yeah.
not doubt that.
Yep.
And everybody likes a Guinness every once in a while. All right, do you feel like you succeeded in your life purpose?
I do, he says. I really do.
Well, why were you given a sainthood? Don't you have to perform a miracle? What was that all about?
He said, he goes like this. Listen, what did I do? I shared my truth and my heart as I knew it, as I evolved my mission to share Jesus and Christianity grew bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
He also is showing me that he shared Christianity with everyone in a way that was um, non-threatening.
Yeah.
It wasn't a linear
Non-judgmental,
path,
non-threatening.
right?
Everybody's welcome, open arms.
Wasn't a linear path. It wasn't like you do A and then you go to B and then you go
Oh,
to
yeah.
C. He's showing me that he's doing this whole inclusiveness thing, and he brings it back to his heart.
Yeah.
Um, he did do miracles, he said.
Oh, can you name one?
He healed people.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
He's going back again to the energy, the healing of the mind, he says.
Yeah. Oh, important. How do you feel about the history of Christianity in Ireland to date? I'm sure it had rocky paths like Christianity in every country, but
He says he's he's actually clearing his throat, and I'm doing mine too,
uh,
because he says it could actually be more practical, more front and center. And he says that when people hear a label, right away they get an understanding of how something should be.
oh yeah.
But that's not what you get necessarily when you open your heart to feel the legacy that I left. And that's the important part. To study St. Patrick means to sit in energy of silence with him, bring him into your heart.
Mm.
And he's doing this. He's got his arms open, and he says he's open to be a teacher for all who approach him, just as Erik is.
Yeah. Nice. Uh, okay, as a Christian, you being a Christian, Patrick, what was your view of non-Christian faiths back when you were alive? And now what do you think of them now?
I tried very hard not to fear, but there was a lot of fear-based um, energies going around, a lot of fear-based belief systems. I was not fearful because I had an understanding, a truth rather. I had a truth of what was, and that was that God is love. I understood that. And I also understood that just like my path at 16 years old changed significantly when I went into this space of being a prisoner, that, oh, interesting. Much like people who are not in the traditional path of Christianity might feel like they're excluded
Oh, yeah.
from getting in, he says, and he's using these air quotes. That's not true, he says. All paths lead to the same place.
Yeah.
And you have to understand the exclusion that you might feel is to your own benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So if you were to go to a church on Sundays, etc., right now, as a human, what would you choose? Unitarian, uh, Presbyterian, Catholic,
I
what
would
church would you go
I
to?
would visit all of them. I would visit the
Okay.
philosophy of Buddhism. I
Oh
would
yeah.
visit
Yeah.
Catholicism. I would visit Hindu temples. I would embrace the Tao Te Ching. He says, honestly, religion is about what makes your heart feel expansive. It isn't,
Oh,
it isn't what it's called,
a
it's how it
label.
feels.
Oh, I love that. How do you see Christianity evolving going forward? Almost finished. Ooh,
I see it becoming more and more inclusive and less rigid. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to compromise, they, as in the council, as you would know, that they are going to compromise what they believe. It just means that we are turning a corner with the people's perspective that are in the roles of of the top leadership.
oh yeah, that makes
So
sense.
it's perspective. Here's the thing, he says, and he uses the phrase, and Erik is chuckling, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
You keep what you need. Don't get all crazy and jump ship because there is good in everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's some element of humans getting involved in how religious sects are practiced and the rules, etc. So, how do you view your spiritual beliefs on the other side compared to your beliefs as a bishop? People are so smart. Love it.
I would say that they are comparable, that I do believe in what I taught, and that is the word of Jesus Christ. I do believe in all of that. As a bishop, I tried very hard to stay close to my roots, meaning that I was close to, probably he's referring to, because he's showing me this fence, close to, as close as he ever was to the creator was in the confines of that space. He's saying he wasn't necessarily raised to be religious, and would say he didn't necessarily find his footing or his traction with religion until that event.
Oh yeah. Okay. What do the historians get wrong about you and your life? And what do we not know about you, St. Patrick?
There's so much that is not known about me, and for a very specific reason. It doesn't need to be known. I don't need to take front and center. If you were to learn about me, the man, what would that tell you? If
Yeah,
you know what you see, that I am a representative of good,
yeah.
that's it. Do you need to know that I ate beets and carrots? Do you need to know? He
Oh,
says there really is no need to know me. And he says also, furthermore, there's really no mystery. I'm an open book.
okay. So do the historians regularly get one thing wrong about your life?
He says there are many accurate portrayals, and this is what he's saying. And he goes like this: there's a little bit of truth in all of it, but nobody cornered the truth,
Okay.
because you just possibly can't do that for a person.
Yeah, of course not. I would love to ask about you about twin flame journey and what will happen if the divine masculine does not recognize your if divine masculine did not recognize his divine feminine in the current whole life. I don't understand that one. I think I'm gonna skip it. I'm not sure what that says. Do you, Eric?
Can you say it again for us?
I would love to ask him about twin flame journey and what will happen if divine masculine did not recognize his divine feminine in current whole life.
So Erik says, are we talking about the noticing and recognizing the wholeness of each
I don't
other?
know. Let's just
That,
say that's
yeah.
probably a good teaching.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Erik says to guess that would be what it means, but Erik is questioning, why is it in this batch?
Okay. Now, St. Patrick, have you reincarnated since your time as Patrick? And what was your last name anyway?
Um, I can't hear the last name, but I hear a word, but it's not coming through
It's very
clear.
indistinct.
Yeah, it's
It could be like Celtic or some strange language. You never
I
know.
don't, yeah, I can't decipher what it is, and I'm
Okay.
asking Erik if he can make it clear. Um, he's saying that he has He's funny because he's saying I have recycled.
Oh, you have. Okay. What's
Uh,
your most recent incarnation?
yeah, uh,
Who were you?
he's saying the most recent would have been a monk.
Oh, okay. Figures,
Mhm. A,
isolation,
Hin-
reflection.
a Hindu monk.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Can you tell me another life that influenced your life as Patrick? St. Patrick?
Mhm. Um, he's showing me Europe,
Okay.
and he's showing me, no, I'm sorry, it's not Europe. It's very dusty,
Huh.
and I
The Middle East, maybe?
I smell it a lot. I don't know why, but he's showing me Egypt.
Egypt. Oh, okay. Well, that's
Egypt.
where the Anunnaki, you know,
Yeah. And
had
it's
foothold.
very,
So
there's a
Earth
big
ages.
dust smell, and then I see a chariot.
So were you up or were you a slave or?
Um, he shows me that I'm just getting glimpses, pieces of
Okay.
it. A chariot. Um, he was a servant,
Okay. All right.
a humbled servant,
No.
actually, who was put to death for speaking out.
No. What did you speak out about?
Um, I called out leadership. I called out, I went against the grain.
Hmm.
And he's showing me that
Typical.
it was a terrible, torturous death.
Ugh. All
But
right. So
that was
that's
the
not
life, yeah, that was the life right before.
okay. So that makes sense because you voiced your opinion about Christianity and
Yeah,
Christ's principles, etc.
yeah.
All right. Last one. What is your final message to humanity and to your mother country of or your patronage country, Ireland?
My people stand strong and stand in your faith and your belief and trust that all is right and honor your sacred land, respect her,
Mm.
nurture her. And what was the other
Oh,
part?
well, to humanity and to Ireland specifically.
Oh, well, he's saying that could be for everyone.
Well,
But
yeah.
for Ireland, the other thing he's saying is now that we've talked about the fairies and the elementals, he would like to see people have an understanding of them and a respect for them. And that's the people of his land, I guess, is specifically he's telling that to.
Okay.
If you look for them, oh, this is interesting. If you look for them, you surely won't see them.
Oh,
But he says, be aware that they're there and they'll
yeah.
be everywhere.
Oh, ooh. I hear some people leave little pieces of cookies and stuff like that for them, and
Mhm.
they even build little fairy huts and things
Yeah,
like that.
absolutely. He says, actually, there's a thing he's showing me, and it's made out of stones.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a little, I don't know, it looks like a pyramid, but it's like a little house.
Okay.
And
Oh,
it's got little moss on the front of it. And
oh,
oh, actually, he's showing me that's something that he created when he was held captive.
oh, wow. What? How little was it? Just a
Tiny,
little tiny
teeny,
for
teeny,
bears.
tiny. He said it had to be because nobody could find it.
Oh,
But
good. Yeah.
he's also telling me, this rebel that he is, he put them all around the land
Oh,
where
cool.
he was. And
Wow.
he used the earth and the materials available to him
Yeah.
to to connect with them. Remember, he says they were my family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really? How so? I
When
mean,
I didn't
your
have,
adopted family, right?
yeah, when I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have a family, they were
Oh,
my, they saved me. They kept me sane.
no. Anything else you want to share before we close? Or Eric, if you want to add anything?
Eric says he's definitely spent time in Ireland, and Eric says he's looking forward to meeting more people in Ireland. Now, Eric is showing me, and I've never really seen this before, but Eric is showing me he's walking the earth right now. Eric is.
Oh,
And
okay.
in the space of Ireland, and he's looking for these little dwellings and
Oh,
he's meeting people. This is fascinating to me because I've never seen Eric show me that he's walking physically, but he says
yeah.
it's not an incarnation.
Oh,
It's not a reincarnation, rather. That's
interesting. Well,
fascinating.
I mean, you've met up with people that like, oh my God, I'm seeing a ghost. Like a person, like that guy, Damien in Ireland, actually. You
Yeah.
went up to him in your early days and you kind of got in trouble for it. And you went up to him and said, "But I could tell you how far away your girlfriend is from you now." And she was in Canada at the time. And gave him a figure and it was right.
But that's what he's talking
Yeah.
about. But he says people can see him. I have no idea what
Cool.
that means.
Maybe something special about the Irish.
Yeah, or something special about oh, in the eyes of the beholder, I shall be
Oh,
seen.
all
So if
right.
you believe, you shall see.
All right, thank you, St. Patrick. It's been very illuminating. Thank you, Veronica. Check her out in the description box below. Veronica, is there anything else you want to say?
No, welcome back. I had the
Thank you.
privilege of filling in for you, which I could never fill your shoes,
Oh,
but
yes, you can. Well,
thank you.
thank you so, so much. Bye. Love you. Love you all. Love you, Eric.